There is no doubt that inclusion has had a major impact on regular classroom teachers, who must now accommodate the individual needs of an increasingly diverse population of students. Today's general education teachers must now work closely with special education teachers to ensure that individualized education plans are followed and the educational needs of all students are being met. In researching and producing these videos, we observed and videotaped in dozens of inclusive classrooms from kindergarten through high school. In classes with regular and special education teachers working well together and all students engaged in the lessons, it was difficult to tell which students were special needs and which were not. It was also difficult to tell which teacher was special education and which was the regular classroom teacher because they integrated their instruction so seamlessly. We found an excellent example of this type of team teaching at Proctor Elementary School in Independence, Missouri. Here, special education teacher Trudy Harms joined Jamie Largent's 5th grade class for a lesson on riddles. In this classroom, the two teachers truly worked as a team, both in presenting the lesson and in providing help to individual students. As you will see, they work as equal partners in the instruction, in their interactions with students, and in their approach to classroom management. And now, Jamie Largent and Trudy Harms.
Our objectives today is we are reading the core story together, and after we read the core story, then we are going to, the story is about the riddle. And after we read the story, then we are going to have the kids devise their own riddle. And the object of this lesson is for them to, well, take parts of who they are and to have the kids guess and bring out their own character traits, bring out who they are for their classmates to find.
They're going to be talking a little bit about the main idea of the lesson and some compare and contrast. Through the riddle making, they're going to be doing a little bit of compare and contrast, only in a little bit more fun and adventurous way. So that's what we're going to end up working on today. As far as the way we work together, it's well, this is Jamie's first year at Proctor, and you would never know that the way both of our 5th grade teachers teach. They are just outstanding. They have great classroom management skills. They work exceptionally well with the children, and we just kind of play off of each other. She brings up a piece of the lesson, I back her up, I might throw in an idea. So you won't necessarily see one in the front, one in the back. Sometimes we switch, we're all over the place. The kids respond to the fact that both of us are in there. You'll find the kids answering one question from one and talking to the other one, or you might see somebody kind of exchange information with me to am I on track, am I going to say the right thing, and then they'll raise their hand. So as a special education teacher, I give backup to a lot of the children with learning disabilities and special ed support, but really interact with all the kids. And she does the same thing. She interacts with all of the children, whether they're special education children or not. So.
And she's just a wonderful resource to have in the classroom. And the kids, they know that they can go to her for any concern, question, and that Ms. Harms is there to make it better, to help us. And just a wonderful, wonderful asset to 5th grade.
And that's where you guys left off yesterday. The king said, if you guys can answer this riddle, I will make you one of my counselors.
Very good. Looking for Kiesha, would you please start us off?
After a long ride, he approached the charcoal maker's home.
And one of the things that I wanted to bring up about the seating arrangement that we have here, oftentimes you'll see kids and they want to sit in maybe some unusual seating arrangements. These kids at this age really kind of like their space. They like that whole feeling of an island. So we've tried several different varieties of arrangements in there. One little guy in the back of the room, he enjoys his solitude, and we've tried several times to actually bring him closer to the group, and it's just something that he's not comfortable with, and he is very, very happy with his spot more toward the back, right near the teacher's desk. And he has shown us, not only with his behavior choices and his attitude and how hard he's been working, this is where I need to be and this is where I'm most comfortable, and we don't mess with that. We leave that alone. You know, it's working, so leave it. And these kiddos like that whole island feel, so we've kind of let them separate their desks apart, and we really read a lot in not only what they say but how they act in how we set that classroom up too.
How can a troublemaker, such as yourself, who earns only 10 cents a day, make enough to live on?
Whoa. So the king ended up finding out that the guy was not only clever, he was also, what, Caitlin?
Honest.
He was also honest, and he was actually even more clever because, Brandon,
He saw his Majesty's face on the coins 100 times.
and we had a little bit of a tough time figuring that riddle out, didn't we? And yesterday, we told you guys that we were going to be coming up with some riddles, and Miss Largent has a plan here for how we're going to do that. So you probably aren't going to need your book anymore.
Who can give me one component of what we're looking for in a riddle? Okay.
What do we have to have
What do
in
you
a riddle?
have to have, Danielle?
You have to have a question.
A question.
Needs to be a question.
Okay.
Writing is difficult for many kids. Some of our kids are great writers, and it's kind of an easy task for them. Reading and writing together, but especially the writing piece. So to have an activity that for kids is a little bit more fun, that's kind of the element that we like to bring into the picture as often as we can, so that they see writing as a fun way to kind of experiment with words and put them together and develop their vocabulary, work on their spelling. And as they work on these short pieces and these pieces that require a little bit of imagination and creativity, then they become just more eager to kind of get into some of the writing exercises and things like that. And like Jamie said, whenever they take the riddle that was in the story and they have to kind of focus on, what made that a riddle and what took that apart, and how did that, how did he come up with that answer and why, it makes them, instead of just answering flat answers, it makes them want to be more creative with their answers and again, kind of develop that piece.
Okay. Looking for, thinking in your brain, a staff member, so someone that works here. I'm not a shrimp, but I love to eat them. Playing games is the way I get through life. Some people say I shine in armor. Who am I?
Before you guys shout out the answer, well, before we call on somebody and they shout out the answer, remember, does that very first clue, does that give you all the information that you need? But does that narrow it down? Okay, you guys are going to tell me how that narrows it down for you in just a second. And then the second clue, does it help you to narrow it down just a little bit more? But the last one, kind of a dead giveaway, right? Hopefully it's a dead giveaway. We'll see. So your clues kind of work in that fashion right there.
Kyle.
Mr. Knight.
Mr. Knight. So what is it about the first clue that helped you narrow it down?
Because he's not short, he's really tall. And the
Okay.
game thing gave it away.
And then the second part was, what was the second part of the clue?
The second part is playing games is the way I get through life.
Oh my, Caitlin, who around here is all about playing games?
Mr. Knight.
Okay, so of the tall people in here, who's all about playing games, PE teacher, and then the last one was the dead giveaway, shines in armor. Who wears armor? Knights do. All right, so that's, if you haven't got it by the first two clues, the last clue is kind of a giveaway. All righty, so we're going to give you guys some boxes to fill here. And you guys remember your 4 square? How you fold it in a French fry? Can you fold your paper in a French fry right now?
The district also has really adopted wanting the kids to put as much information as they can at first in an organizer. And then you saw them folding the paper and all of that. It takes a little bit of time, but that really helps them to dissect their thinking and put a little bit here and a little bit here. And then at the end, I can take all of that information and then compile this wonderful either riddle or story or anything. So the organizers really help, I think, that thinking process that they go through.
Okay, remember, fold it over like a hot dog. Leave the top part uncreased if you can. Fold it like a hamburger up to that point. Pop a crease in there. When you open it up, you're going to have 4 boxes, and you're going to end up having, this part is not going to have a crease in it. And that's where your information is going to go over the top. Everybody ready with that? Anybody need help?
Should we do one of me together?
I think that's a great idea. She's going to
Okay.
explain what's going to go in your boxes.
All right, so I need you to think with me. We need to move this. If you were going to write a riddle about me, how fun will that be? Who can remember what month is my birthday? Gabby? November. Oh, I knew you guys would remember. What's the number? I'm going to abbreviate. Is that okay? What is the number for November, the month? 11 is for, you know, because you count through the months. So that is 11. If I move over to the character trait, if you had to look up there in all of your niceness that you love your teacher so much, which one, if you had to pick a character trait for me, which one do you think we could just throw up there and it doesn't matter? Just give us one. Caitlin.
Responsibility.
Responsible.
Oh, sorry, I'll try to write that. See, I had a really hard time picking one. No, not really.
And maybe I'll want to bullet out ways I'm responsible. You know, maybe, Paige, what's one way to be responsible?
Whenever someone gets hurt on the playground, you come and help them.
So I help take care of them? Okay. So if I were to describe myself, I might say that, let's see, do we have to know the exact, do you think I'm tall or short? Tall. So maybe I'll just write tall. Hair color? Brown. I'm sure, I was wondering if you guys would throw in any extra. Eye color? Blue.
Now on my riddle, I went just a little bit different route. I used a piece of my name, and I used a piece of Mr. Knight's name to develop the last piece here.
So what could I do with my
So
name?
there's some option there too.
Yeah, if I wanted to add something about my name, maybe this is not working for me. I can't think of a riddle about tall, brown, I've got a good sense of humor, but my name is Largent. What could I do with Largent? What could I do, Caitlin?
I'm not large, but I'm small.
Oh, so maybe I want to do something with my name. Very good, I like that. Would you like to hear the riddle I made, that Miss Harms made up?
Oh, now come on. Okay, but give me one more thing. Give me something that rhymes with Largent.
All right.
Bargent. Something that's real.
Ooh.
Sergeant. Doesn't she get kind of bossy?
Yes.
I say, I hear it.
That's
Okay,
where
we're ready.
That's where she went. She automatically goes there.
Let's
Okay.
hear the riddle.
All right, all right. I am small, but my expectations are large. When I teach my class, some call me Sarge. November's when I came to be. Can you figure out which teacher is me?
Of course, hers had a little bit of a what? What'd she have going there, Kyle? What'd she have going there? It had a little bit of a pattern, a little bit of a rhythm. What do we call that? Kind of like a
Rhyme?
rhyme.
Rhyme.
You're great.
Does your riddle have to rhyme?
No. Mine?
No.
Mine didn't rhyme. Hers
No.
did.
But just like what Miss Harms did with the triangle over there, you want to start off big and then kind of clue us in big time at the end.
You can use your first name or your last name. You can use things about yourself, okay? But brainstorm some ideas. That's what these boxers are for. Brainstorm some bullet ideas. She wrote cold. I wrote chilly. Okay, so brainstorm some ideas. When you have some good ideas in your head, pop them in these boxes. And then down here, this is where you're going to start putting together your ideas, either in a rhyme or kind of like I did, where I went broad and then got real small. So use this time right now. Let us know. We will help you with spelling. Let us know. We can help you with some ideas if you need some idea development. We might ask your classmates to help you. So think about some things that you can say about you.
Okay, what could we do? Because I'm confused about this whole
And the kids are going to automatically know that could be kind of your last. That could be kind of your last one.
What if you looked up there, which one of those things do you think you show every day? Kyle has, we took the paper first and he had difficulty folding that, so we got that situated. And then he just needs sometimes just a jump start to get him going. And once the jump start takes place, then he's able to go with it.
He has great ideas.
He does.
It's just getting them down in writing is a struggle for him, to put things in sequential order and to, just get the words and the thoughts written out. But he can sit there and tell them to you all day long, and he's got great little ideas. And he pays great attention to the stories, but just that whole idea about putting it down in writing is difficult for him.
Try my best and have fun.
Try your best and you have fun, don't you? Mm-hmm. Okay. So if I was going to describe Kyle, what do you think you look like?
Maybe a little bit small,
So maybe a little small. We'll write that down.
medium, smallish.
Okay. What color do you think your hair is?
Well, it's sort of like brownish.
Kind of a brown blonde?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because when I was about 5 or so, my hair was blonde.
Is that right?
Really blonde.
Very
yeah.
good. And if you could describe your personality, what do you think your personality is like? Do you think you're fun? Do you think you...
Oh, I think I'm sort of fun.
You think you're fun? I think you are too.
Because
Okay.
I do like to have fun.
Yes, you do. So, your name is Kyle. Oh, Kyle, you have a great name to play with. Kyle, what's your last name?
King.
King.
Like a king.
Yes, we could do something fun with that, couldn't we? Because
Yeah.
your last name is King. So I wonder how we could start our riddle. With Kyle, breaking that and sectioning off that paper helped his brain, helped me and him organize his thoughts. And once we got those organized and kind of a few words here and there to get him going, and he was just so pleased at the end that he'd come up with this wonderful riddle out of just a few bulleted words. And I think that's the beauty of Trudy being in there and being able to work with him one-on-one, and yet she mingles around, and that frees me up to work with him when I need to, and it's a wonderful situation.
But more importantly, Kyle feels like he's a 5th grader.
Absolutely.
He feels like he knows he goes out, he knows he struggles with some things. He's very aware of all that, but many times through his day, because he's in there so much, because all of those kids are in there so much, he feels like a 5th grader, and he did that task and was there for the entire activity. And what a boost to his self-esteem, just to absolutely make him feel like I am part of this group, and he's accepted by those children as one of their peers. And they help him when he struggles, but for the most part, he knows I'm a 5th grade student. He doesn't sit or go to a different class or walk in a different line or look or feel any differently, like somehow or other he has some neon light that says, I'm different because I learned different. He's feeling very, very included in there.
Maybe we should wrap it up in about 2. See,
Does anybody have a riddle?
we got
with them?
one here.
Okay.
King of Proctor, I may be small, but I've got.
Got great talent?
Okay.
How's that?
That's perfect. Good job. Okay. Now you're gonna just flip this over so nobody can read yours.
Okay.
How you girls doing? Good. Are you getting on? All right. What do you got going?
When you're finished, start bringing them up to me, and then move your chairs back.
I hate spelling, but I'm good at it.
What's here?
Ah, that's perfect.
Okay, but we'll finish it tomorrow.
Okay, we are not.
Okay, raise your paper if you need us to come pick it up. It doesn't matter if you're finished or not, because we're going to finish them up tomorrow.
Miss Harms, I was wondering, do you think we should read a couple?
Oh, I think so. I'm looking at a couple of them now. The rest of them we'll read tomorrow.
Okay, here we go. Here's one. It's a classmate, somebody in here. With great effort, I try my best, work hard, and have fun. As king of Proctor, I may be small, but I've got great talent. Let me read it again.
Some light bulbs.
With great effort, so this person described themselves. I try my best, work hard, and have fun. As king of Proctor, I may be small, but I've got great talent. David, Kyle King, what made you think it was Kyle? King of Proctor.
You, Kyle?
Yes.
Good job, nice riddle. What were your clues? To pick Kyle's work after he had worked on it there and been able to complete that task during that class setting, and then to have his work chosen, the reinforcement of the fact that I am one of this group is just astoundingly important to his self-esteem and his learning. It motivates his learning to do better and to put more effort.
And I definitely think it reinforces that whole idea that I'm part of this room, I'm part of this community, and I can produce work just like everyone else in here. And so I think that just reinforces that whole idea of our system in there. Well, I felt the lesson went really well. I mean, the kids were able to compare and contrast, they were able to dissect the story, make it their own, and I think that that's when making the riddle, it came back that aha moments for a lot of them, that they were able to read something and then recreate it for themselves.
Kind of make it come to life.
When I saw Kyle's face after reading his paper that he had worked on his riddle, it just reinforces that that's exactly why he needs to be in the classroom. That is exactly why you stand up front and you feel like at times you're just pounding the information, but when they're able to produce something that they feel is so worthy, and to see that on their face is just an incredible moment.
And I don't think that we want to kid ourselves in that these children aren't aware. They are aware. I learn different. I do things differently than my other classmates. So when they are chosen, or something that they've created is chosen, it's just like anybody anywhere. When something that you've created has been picked and it becomes the focus of attention, that puts them in the spotlight. And for a moment, even if it's just for a moment, inside their little hearts and inside their little heads, they're thinking, the spotlight is on me for such an amazingly great reason. And for someone who struggles with learning, or struggles with playing, or struggles with anything, to be in the spotlight for something that they've been chosen as, look at me, I've done something great, I've done something right, and all of the kids. And you saw the other children who turned, and their response was, we know who that is, And I mean, just the tie of that together, they are, they're just so connected, and they really do care about him. But for him to think, I was chosen, I was the center, and it's because I did something great. He will live on that for quite a while.